Light just popped up.
Okay.
Happy New Year. We have made it to see 2019, and we are so excited about what is going to be in store for us this year, a year of excellence, and we're going to do everything in the spirit of excellence. And I am your host, Cyrelle, and we are watching Sisters Against Kidney Disease. And tonight I have the honor of speaking with the young lady who actually motivated me to shift my whole kidney disease journey. Being optimistic was something that I've always done, but the way I was doing it needed some tweaking. And God used this woman to help me. So I just thought it was fitting to start this year off with bringing her on as my guest. So without further ado, I want to introduce MIlagro Porter. She is my shero, and I just want to give her the opportunity to introduce herself to you all. Hello, MIlagro.
Hi, Cyrelle. Like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. Like, you have to make me cry.
Don't do it because
um,
then my eyes are gonna sweat.
I know, right? Like my eyes are about to sweat. Like I'm really,
But I
really.
love
I had.
you, and you mean so much to me, and you are just such a light and love on this kidney disease journey, but just life period. But you have such a unique story about being a kidney disease warrior, and I wanted people to know that there was other ways to thrive on this journey. So please tell us your story.
Okay, well, hi. Like you said, I'm MIlagro. Everybody just calls me Millie. Let's
Right.
just go ahead and put that out there.
Okay, I know, but I wanted you to say it. Now you're like, hi, Millie.
I know. Look, like my eyes are sweating. I'm trying to
Right.
like get it out of the way.
It's
But
like windy in here. Okay.
I know, right? So literally, I have been dealing with kidney issues since I was a teenager. I was 17 and I had high blood pressure, but no one ever knew what it came from. So I like go through, they're like, oh, your blood pressure's high. I'm like, oh, okay, well. And then like in high school, like I was a bigger girl. I was never thin, or I could tell you for like, this is the smallest I've ever been in my entire life, like ever in life. uh, so, so I was always like in a size 18, 20. Like it was a struggle. So when I got to college, college is for experimenting on lots of things.
Right. Right.
Do a lot of
Hmm.
things that I probably shouldn't have been doing, drinking. But this particular time, I had gone to the infirmary because I had like this terrible headache.
Right.
And they were like, all right, well, we're gonna get you to come back tomorrow because your blood pressure's kind of high. We just want to see if this is a trend. I was like, well, I always had high blood pressure in high school, but nobody ever really did anything about it. And so I came back and they're like, we're gonna need to put you on some blood pressure medicine. They put me on something, I think it was hydrolysine or something like that, something which just made me sleepy. And then by the time I turned about say 22, they
Hmm.
was like, we're gonna need to refer you to a nephrologist because we don't quite know what's going on, and
Right.
they'll be able to better tell us. Now, at this time, I had no kids, and I went to the nephrologist and they did a kidney biopsy, and they told me that I had FSGS. I'm like, what?
Right. Right. Like, what is that?
Where'd I get that from? And so they still don't know where I got it from because even when I went, fast forward, even when I went to do my sign up for my kidney transplant at Piedmont, I asked the nephrologist, said, where does that come from? And they're like, well, we're not quite sure. It might be autoimmune, but we don't know. But FSGS stands for focal segmental glomerular sclerosis, which basically means it looks like somebody took a blowtorch and burned out the majority of my kidneys,
Right.
the filtration glomeruli.
Right.
So I have a filtration rate of 22 right now, which would be end stage kidney disease.
Hmm.
So after I went to the doctor, it's like, oh, I ain't going back to them. I ain't gonna do that. They done put me on some steroids. I done gained all this weight. I ain't going back.
Right. Right.
And then I got pregnant with my son, like, and that just put my body through a whole lot. And
Right.
my son was born at 32 weeks because my body couldn't take it anymore. Like I had preeclampsia, but we already
Right.
knew that because I had kidney disease.
Right.
So back then, my kidney function was like low 40s,
Okay.
upper 30s. So it was still high then. Like after I had him, it like got down to like 32. And then me being bright got pregnant again.
That's okay. That's okay. The gift of life, right? Just
The
keep
gift
giving. Just
of
keep
life.
giving.
So not January. March the 5th, 2009, I had my daughter. But when I was pregnant with her, my kidney function had gotten so low that they were like, well, we might have to um put you on dialysis, like put a port in my neck while I was
Right.
pregnant with her. And I was just like, Lord, I don't want to do that. And like I've always grown up in the church. So it's like I always feel like I need to pray. Lord,
Right.
no. That's not what I see for myself. So
Right.
lo and behold, I had a headache one day and I went in the hospital at 28 weeks when I was pregnant with my daughter. And they kept me because I had like blew up. So at 31 weeks, 6 days, my daughter was born. She weighed 2 pounds, 11 ounces. Glory be to God. She made it. I was like, oh, Lord, thank you. I lost a lot of weight after that. I had to get 2 blood transfusions and
Right.
all of that. So fast forward, my daughter had some issues of her own. And at this time, I wasn't really seeing a nephrologist consistently. Um, my daughter has spinal muscular atrophy, which is a neuromuscular disorder. She passed away December 23rd, 2014. So in May of that year, before she passed away, my I was doing the March of Dimes, which is for premature babies, because that's
Right.
something that's very near and dear to my heart because I had 2 preemies. So
Right.
it's like
Right.
so amazing to like be able to give back. That's just what I love to do. So literally I was like 207 pounds at the time because I was like, oh, I need to start losing weight because Thanksgiving is coming up and I'm trying to eat some food. See, that's so
You
wrong.
want to lose weight so you can eat some food for Thanksgiving. I got it.
So I could gain the weight back because I knew that was what was going to
Right.
happen. But what I didn't know was that that day I had started breaking out in hives,
Mhm.
and like it was just so I was just like, I asked the doctors that I work with, I was like, hey, can we draw a CMP, which is a complete metabolic panel, just to see
Right. What's going
what my
on?
kidney function was. It was down at 15. At
It dropped.
15, they make you do a lot of things.
Yes, they
Like
do.
basically they're like, I went to my nephrologist and he was just like, oh my gosh, I need you to go to these 2 places. You need to figure out if you want to do peritoneal dialysis or if you want to do home
Mhm.
hemodialysis. Those are your choices. You need to go and make a decision. Hurry up, make it quick. I was like, what? I need to dialyze? I was like, no, no, no. So through lots of prayer, I was like, oh God, okay, I'm gonna go do what he told me to do. So
Right.
I made the decision that I was gonna do home hemodialysis. So I went back, I told him, I was like, all right, I went to the place, it was somewhere down in Conyers, and I was like, I'm gonna do home hemo. He was like, so when's your surgery? Because I had to meet with a vascular surgeon.
For your
So they
fistula.
had pushed me out all the way to like the end of July. He was like, no, you need to do it now. And this was in June, like the beginning of June. I was like, okay, but Dr. Davies don't have no appointments. He was like, you need to figure it out and do it now. Like your blood work, my creatinine was like over 3. Like it was just really, really bad. He was like, looking at this blood work, I need you to do it now. So I have the doctor that I work with, his name is Dr. Cawthorn,
Mhm.
and he works with a vascular surgeon named Dr. Gonzalez. They don't necessarily work together, but he sees them. He's like, look, I got an employee that I need to kind of get in there because she need to do some things. And
Right.
so he got me in super quick. So literally I saw him like June 17th. June 30th, 2016, they put an AV fistula in my left arm. I will show it to
Right.
you. Hold on.
Your battle scar. Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah, that's like, and my little sign there. Well, I got to take my jacket off. I be cold. So,
Understand. Understand. I think
uh,
most of our fellow warriors understand being cold. I see it.
right, I had 32 staples, bruh. 32
Wow.
staples. Yeah, because he was like, okay, if it works, well, I'm just gonna go right in your little arm, and then if it work, if that place don't work, I'm gonna go into your wrist, And if
Right.
that doesn't work,
Right.
because I'm different, I'm gonna
Right.
have to cut your whole arm open. You see what I got?
Right.
Um, so at that moment, you go, a lot of things go through your mind. Like, Lord, I don't want to die. I had lost my daughter 2 years before that. And here it is. I have a 10-year-old. He's 10 now, but he was like 8 then. I was like, Lord, I don't want to die. I was
Right.
like, I'll do whatever it takes. Like, I don't know what it is that you have for me right now or what it is that you want me to do with my life. But obviously, you sat me down for a reason because here it is. You needed me to do something. So I'm here to sit down now because
Right.
I had to be off work for quite some time after that surgery. Couldn't do nothing. Lord, I'm just trying to hear from you. What is it that you want me to do? Whatever you want me to say, I'll say it. Wherever you want me to go, I will go. And basically, I just heard the Lord be like, okay, I'm gonna use you. We gonna see if you're gonna hold up your end of the bargains. I
Right.
was like, oh, okay, Lord, I promise to do that. Not that he's like bargaining with me, but I just let him know, like, okay, I surrender my will, like whatever it is. And literally from that day forward, I changed my eating habits.
Right.
I like every time I was going to Emory at first, and they were like, "You can't." And at that time, I was like 180 pounds. And it was like, "You can't get no lower than 174, and you can't get over 207." I was like, "Glory be to God! I had come down from 207." Hey, hey, hey.
And you look amazing, by the way. Let's just say that.
uh,
But really quickly, because there. I know for me, right? Because I know you. Um, when you shared your story with me, right? You were like, I didn't do dialysis. I'm not doing dialysis, and I know for somebody like myself, that was what I thought, right? But because I didn't have the knowledge at the time, I ended up on dialysis and I go. But you, not only did your function get down to 15, but you have been able to bring it back up and maintain. What do you attribute the ability to take a kidney function of 15 and get it back to 22 and avoid dialysis? What have you done to do that?
well, I take my lisinopril and hydrochlorothiazide on a regular because
Right,
there's like
right, right. Keep your
that
blood
protection
pressure
for me.
together. Yes,
I
ma'am.
pray on a regular basis, Lord, keep my kidneys intact. And I change my eating habits. Like, we have no idea. Like, they push protein, 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 protein on us. But a lot of times, what you don't realize is that meat, especially chicken, is hard for it takes a lot for your kidneys to break down chicken.
Right,
And I watched a documentary on it that my doctor that I worked with, Dr. Cawthorn, he was like, look, I want you to watch this.
right.
And he's actually he's a pescatarian. He don't eat no meat but fish.
Okay.
And he had kidney issues himself. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna do this. And like I literally made a commit. Even my nephrologist, every time he sees me, he's like, I don't know what you did, but I wish I didn't put that thing in your arm. I was like, well, Dr. Nandagam, I said, that wasn't really your decision. Like, you
Right,
did what you thought was best by what you saw on those papers. Like,
right. Your labs was telling a
my
different
labs, my
story.
values. He said, he even tell me, he's like, you didn't look good. I'm just gonna put that out there. You
Right.
didn't look good. He was like, but I said, well, Dr. Nandagam, I changed my eating habits. I exercise. Now, mind you, with the holidays, I done slipped and fell off the wagon, Lord.
Hey, Millie. By any chance, someone wants to know, do you remember the name of the documentary? They want to know what it is. They want to see.
Um, well, I don't remember because that was 2 years ago.
Okay.
But guess what? I will find out and I will let you know because I go to work tomorrow and Dr.
Okay.
Cochran will be there. And I
Okay.
will ask
We
him
will
to send
share
it
it
to
then.
me again.
Yes.
But it was a Caucasian doctor and he was just talking about how even eggs and stuff, like they push protein on us so much.
Was it What the Health?
Oh, I did watch that too.
But it wasn't that.
But it was not that. It
Okay.
was like a total different. It wasn't even really a documentary. It was like a doctor going into like the kidney function and how it breaks down
Okay.
proteins.
Okay. So
And
it was
that's
a
what I said.
documentary.
I'll make
Okay.
sure that he will that I get it from. I hope he can remember. I should have
Okay.
wrote it down. But I watched that and I was like, dang, I had no idea that it took so much for your kidneys to work just to break down the protein. Now, even when I went to Piedmont, they was like, we don't really push protein in the beginning when you're like at 30%, but now that you're down, we need you to get your protein in. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just keep eating my vegetables though, bro.
Right. And I think for most people on this journey, when they think of protein, automatically it's meat.
Yeah.
Now, when you and I talked and we had our conversation, it was like the end of April, beginning of May, and I was still eating meat. And we talked, and I told you that night, I'm going back to being a vegetarian. And at that time, my lab works was horrific. They were all over the place. But since then, since going back to being a vegetarian, my lab works have been in normal range, and my protein saturation is still there. And I have not consumed meat since the end of April, beginning of May. And I think most people need to realize there are other sources of protein other than chicken, beef, fish. You don't have to eat a chicken leg or a steak or a burger to get protein. You can get it from vegetables. You can get
Mm,
it from so many other sources. It's just being diligent with
yeah,
sticking to it.
exactly. Like broccoli has more protein in it than a piece of steak does. But
Yes.
they're not going to tell you that because they try to push the beef and the meat industry on us.
Right.
But there's big money in people being sick. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Yes.
even with what the health they tell you, like a full plant-based diet can reverse so many illnesses. Like, and that's really what open. And then Forks Over Knives is
Right.
another good one to watch because it's like you would be so surprised at all the things and the hormones and stuff that they put in our food. And what you
Right.
don't realize is that you are what you eat. It is so true. You are what you
And
eat.
it's affordable. I think a lot of times people are afraid to switch to incorporating more plant-based or vegetable-based into their diet because of the price tag, but it is doable. If you go to your local grocery store, you can find vegetables and fruits and things like that that are affordable. So, eating healthy does not have to be scary. And I just from your story and my own story, it is doable, it's feasible. I know right now because of the journey, I'm declared disabled right now. So I had to learn to adjust and adapt. So
Mhm.
finances had to get real creative. So for our fellow warriors who are on a tight budget, you know, I'm a living testimony that you can do this journey and still not go broke to live and be healthy. But
Mhm.
I know you changed your diet, but tell me, I know that you have lost weight. What are some of the physical things you do to kind of help boost your kidney health?
I drink lots and lots of water.
Okay.
Um, I also exercise. I try to exercise at least 3 times a week, like walking. I walk a lot. I have 2 jobs, guys. Two. I work a full-time job and then I'm assistant manager at Kirkland's. When I tell you I'm up on my feet for 4 hours straight, I'm up on my feet for 4 hours straight, constantly walking, walking, walking. So like I'm always walking somewhere. And you might not think that walking is a big thing, but it keeps you mobile. It lets your blood flow. And then if you just put a little pep in your step, you get a
Right.
little heart beating a little bit more. And then you
Right.
get your little cardiovascular going. Like, and that makes a big difference. I mean, people don't really realize walking is something that, like it's very good for you. You don't always have to run or do weights. Although doing weights does help you lose more weight because you burn more fat when you do weights. But if you can't do weights,
Right.
then walking, having fun, like me and my son, we dance around the house. Like that's what we do. Like chasing him down. Oh, that's
Right.
that's
Right.
that's a thing in itself.
Right.
Um, but I don't drink dark sodas at
Okay.
all. Like my vice is tea, but I haven't even drank tea in like the last month because literally I had a dip in my kidney function. It went down to 19.
Okay.
And that's because I was wilding out on Thanksgiving, eating all this food. I was like, oh, I had went to see the doctor. He was like, well, they're still good. And I was like, no, I don't like it. Cut it all out. Guess what? Kidney function went back up 22. I was like,
Good stuff. Good stuff. Um, so changing your diet and exercising. Now, I can't believe our time has gotten away for us so quickly, but what is one thing well, not even one thing. Give me your top 5 for not just living, but thriving on this journey that can encourage somebody else on this walk to make the necessary changes, to say, you know what? I have kidney disease, but it doesn't have me. So what would be it?
Um, First of all, keep God first. That's number one. Because no journey is alone without him. He's always with you.
Absolutely.
Number two, get you a good support system. I have everybody at work that's constantly watching what I eat.
Good, good, good.
On top of my church family, they like, should you be eating that?
Right,
Should you be drinking that? Like,
right.
I get like the eyeballs. Support system. And then if you don't have a support system, like things like you, Cyrelle, like this program, I had no idea that was out there, but this is a light to people. You have no idea. Like something like that, like for people to be able to watch other people going through the same thing, finding people who are like-minded. I like to keep a little journal sometimes just to write down my thoughts and feelings. And then, I pray on a regular basis. Like,
Right,
Jesus is my rock. And I could not have done any of this without him.
right.
Literally, the doctors was like, look, I don't know what you've been doing. And I said, you know what I did? I pushed. Pray until something happens. Push. And that's what I did. Like, Lord, me and you are not seeing eye to eye right now. Like, I don't know what it is. But
Right.
they telling me I need dialysis. I know that was not what we discussed. So, but literally, those are like my 5 things. So we're going to go back over it. Pray, get a good support system, exercise as much as you can, walking, your
Right.
eating habits, like your diet is very important. And people like you, Cyrelle, just to keep people encouraged and letting people know that, hey, you're not alone.
Right.
And just being there for one another. Like, I mean, even if you want to put my contact information up, you can share that because I'm an open
Right.
book. People can call
You
me.
are, but you're not just an open book. You are an open book of love. To know you is to be loved and overwhelmed with love. You cannot be in a bad mood in your presence. You can't be standoffish. You can't any of that. Millie's like, no, I'm all up in here. You gonna love
Yeah,
me because I love you and deal with it. Boop.
exactly. I love you because
Right.
Christ first loved us. Like, man, we
Right.
nobody without each other. We
Yeah.
need each other. They have things called hug therapy, cuddle therapy, because you need one another. So I'm gonna give you that hug that you needed. I'm gonna give you that
Right.
talk that you need. Like whatever it is that you need to get you through your day, I'm gonna be
Right.
there to encourage you, to tell you that it's not as bad as you think it is. Because guess what? Any day that you're here is a day that you're not down under them 6 feet. So, and that is a true testament. Like we might go through a lot of things, but we still here to tell the testimony.
We are.
And God is good. You know what I'm saying? Like we can take on the world as long as we got each other.
Right. Now, like I said, because I know that your personality is almost larger than life. And I know it's because of your relationship with Christ. But on the days where Millie is not as effervescent, how do you kickstart yourself back? So you say, you know what? I may feel a little dip, but I need to re-up. So how do you self-motivate on this journey?
Um, I think about where I came from.
Okay.
And I think about where I could have been. And then I think about where I'm going. And then I think about what you just told me. Like, I can't be down because I got people like you that's looking at me, bro. Like, I got people watching, like people are looking to me for inspiration, and I had no idea. Like, I'm just living my best life. I just want to take as many people on my journey as possible.
Right.
But literally, like, there are days because, like I said, I lost my daughter. So there's days that I feel down about that. And it's like days that I feel sometimes inadequate. But like I said, I look and I'm like, you can't always look at what you don't have because it's so easy to look at the glass half full. I mean, half empty instead of half full. Right. And I just be like, well, Lord, I don't got this, or I don't got that. But look at what you do have.
Right.
because there's some people who don't have the things that you do have. Like you said, some people have to dialyze. I just didn't want to dialyze, and this is so selfish of me because I didn't want to have to give up water. I like to drink water. I was like, what? I can only have 3 cups of water.
32 ounces, honey. 32.
That's a struggle, and I love you because I couldn't do it. I'm like, I would be over my fluid intake every time.
Right.
Like, Lord, you go. That's why I picked home hemo because I could do it every day. And they was like, it's a little more lenient. You could drink a little more water. I was like, I need some water, Lord.
Right.
But there's days.
But some people, and I'm thankful. I don't have a limit for fluid. I don't have
Oh,
a fluid
see,
restriction. So you learn something. God is faithful. Won't He do it? But,
yes, that's what I'm talking about.
But again, you still have to be mindful of your food intake and your liquid intake. Well, like you said, you didn't realize that you were being a light. You didn't realize that somebody was watching. And as we're about to close out, I want you to know that, yes, somebody was watching. I laugh because even though I love people, it's usually hard for me to receive. And I know for a fact that God put you in my life because you just have such an infectious personality that I'm like, okay, I'm just going to love her anyway. Fine. Fine if my eyes sweat, I'm okay. But you have such an authentic and genuine heart for people. Even through the things you've lost, like with your baby becoming an angel, you haven't been bitter. You haven't been salty. You've never said, God, why me? And you still take those moments to encourage somebody else. So I want you to know that your story matters. You have helped me to get myself together. Even when I thought I was setting the woods on fire, I met you and was like, ooh, baby, I'm smoldering. I ain't even blazing yet. So you helped to get me together. And I want you to know I love you. And I thank God for you. And I believe that there's so many other people on this journey that are going to be inspired by you because you're not living this because you want the attention. You're living this because you realize that you're an overcomer by the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimony. And you're just awesome. And I know
so my eyes are sweating real quick.
Stop it. I know that you have made my life better. And I'm just so grateful that our other CKD warriors will have an opportunity to hear your story. Don't be silent. Keep talking. Keep sharing. Dialysis is not the only option for this journey. And you're a living testimony that you can be in stage 4 or 5.
I can't hear nothing. Can't hear you. No. No. But I feel you. I feel you. Like, you have no idea. I love you too. Like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're awesome. Oh, what is going on? Oh my God. You're amazing. I hear nothing. But I love you so much.